there is somebody that is an all-star in our heart. He is just a lovely human being. As we're seeing tonight, the Raptors are in Indianapolis to take on the Pacers. That is none other than Jack Armstrong, longtime broadcaster with the Raptors all around. Amazing. Jack!
Hello!
Hello!
Jack, good morning, sir.
How we doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Wonderful.
We're even better now. You always bring the vibes up. I have to say this to everyone in the world. Like, this world sometimes can be a dumpster fire of garbage, but you are always a light in it. You are so kind. You are joyful. So we're just, and I need to know, where are you at right now? I see the Bills hat, Bills Mafia. Have you kind of come down after them getting their first playoff road win in almost 3 decades, Jack? How we doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in Indianapolis. We got a game tonight, Raptors Pacers tonight. So here in my hotel room, just getting organized, getting ready for the game tonight, and happy to be on with you. And go Bills! Yeah, huge win the other day. They got their hands full on Saturday afternoon in Denver. So I'm enjoying it. And then let's hope they can regroup and get some people healthy and play really well and find a way to win at Denver. So it'll be a really tough game. And people forget this: when you play in Denver, there's that advantage in terms of the altitude that, when visiting teams come in, and I've experienced it firsthand with the Raptors over the years, it takes a while to adjust to it. So, that's a huge part of their home field, home ice, home court advantage that all their teams have, and it's pretty evident when you experience it. So, but I'm excited about that game. But first, I got to worry about the Raptors Pacers tonight.
That you do. I'm curious. Have you went for a morning run already?
No, not yet. No, I'll do that a little bit later on. But I will definitely get my run in later on. It's a little chilly out here in Indianapolis. I might go on the dreaded treadmill, which I don't like. But it's supposed to be a little icy here later on, so I'm not going to be out there in the ice. So, but I'll get it in somehow, some way.
All right, actual basketball question for you now. As always, we do appreciate you joining us this morning ahead of the game against the Pacers. When it comes to Scottie Barnes, who is the current Eastern Player of the Week, when it comes to his defense, I know a lot of people talk about the buckets he scores. How have you seen him improve defensively?
I just think his attention to detail per play is a lot higher than I've ever seen it. Complete buy-in. It takes effort, like. Uh, a lot of times you see with younger players, they take a few plays off here and there defensively because they want to save it all for the offensive end. Because unfortunately, many people judge them based upon their statistical offensive numbers rather than the entirety, totality of their game. And I think the light has really come on where now he understands from a defensive perspective, offensive perspective in terms of playmaking, scoring, rebounding on both ends, playing with focus and determination each night. He's overwhelmingly been pretty consistent this year, and I think his defensive game, I think he's really responded to the challenge of being that next level guy defensively, where he can guard all 5 positions, and he's incredibly disruptive. And I'm really, really impressed with what I've seen from him in terms of just his overall growth. I think having Brandon Ingram in the lineup with him is taking a little bit of the pressure offensively off of Scottie in terms of scoring, because I think he's a guy that's very comfortable being a playmaker and being a servant for others. So to me, I'm really, really impressed with his growth as a player. To me, he's an all-star, and no doubt about it. To your point, Lindsay, I think he could be an all-defensive player as well.
So, Jack, I've learned that Darko likes to have himself like 10, 11, 12 espressos a day to get himself through the day and focus. And I'm just wondering, like, are you doing espresso shots before every broadcast to get yourself hyped up? No?
No way. No, I drink water all day, and I at home I drink green tea during the game. And if they have green tea tonight here in Indiana, I think they do. From the last time I was here, I recall being able to have a few cups of tea. So to warm the voice up during the course of the game. But no, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not an espresso drinker. I've tried. I had a bad experience a year ago. I was at a rehearsal dinner for my nephew's wedding, and they were having espresso martinis. I
Oh.
said, "Wow, this tastes good." So I had one, then I had another one, and I was like, it kind of rocked my world. So I've
That's
sworn off
amazing.
espresso martinis, and I've only had Red Bull once in my life too, and it had the same exact impact on me. I couldn't handle it.
So you got the natural
So
vibes.
I like to stick with the agua and the tea, and then post game, then we could talk about a glass of beer or maybe a glass of wine after all the stress. So you get the stress out of work in the game after the game.
It's a classy way to do it. I like that. I like that. So, Darko, 24-17, this Raptors team. I said it yesterday, and I'm sure everybody feels the same way. Like 24-17 at the midway point of the season, everybody in the organization probably would have signed up for that with the way that the last couple of years have gone. From Darko's perspective, specifically as the coach, how have you seen him work this team to get them to where they are midway through the year?
Uh, I've seen him. Usually about people in their third year, whether it be a player, an executive, a coach. Um, and I really think that his confidence level in terms of uh, this is how I coach, this is how we play, this is my philosophy, and I know what I want to get done. And I saw that in training camp this year in Calgary, and then carrying over to Vancouver as well as they were getting ready for the season. That he was very comfortable in his own skin in terms of what we're going to do and how we're going to accomplish it. That was, to me, I think in the first 2 years, you had a lot of roster upheaval. Were they rebuilding, restructuring, rebooting? There's a lot of different ways you could describe what they were trying to do, but nonetheless, I think it was kind of disjointed, and at times it was difficult for him to really show what he was capable of doing. I think there's a lot more roster stability now. And with that being said, you add a guy like Brandon Ingram, other guys now fall into better, more reasonable, logical spots in terms of their skill level. And it's, I think, helped him be able to then put things in place that make sense. So I think he's done a really, really good job. He's got buy-in. They not only respect him, they like him. And in coaching today's modern athlete, I think you got to be able to do both. Uh, the idea of being a tyrant and being hard nosed and being distant from your players, you can't do that. I think a really good coach in this era has to have really good bedside manner as well as incredible leadership qualities. You got to be tough. You got to be firm. You got to stand your ground, and at the same time you got to be able to sell them and bond with them on a personal level so that when you do get in there when you get after them and you get in their ass and you start screaming and yelling at them as well, they're able to take it because they know it's coming from a good place of trust and respect, and that's there. And if at the same time, the coach will know as well that when a player snipes back at them, they know it's coming at them from a good place as well because there's that relationship. There's I'm not sure. I don't know if I've used it on the air, but I use it a lot when I speak, do public speaking. One of the great things I learned as a young coach was at a coach's clinic, and one of the coaches that was speaking said it's all about the 7 R's, and rules without relationships equal rebellion. Part two, rules with relationships equal respect and results. And ultimately, we're in the business of results. And, I bring that up from a coaching and leadership standpoint. And I think Coach Darko has that great way about him where he can be firm, and yet guys really respect that, but they like him too, and they'll play hard for him. And that those 7 R's. Imagine if our society used that a whole lot more. We'd fix a lot of things if people just actually respected each other and listened to each other.
Great points. Jack Armstrong, great to see you as always. I'm going to follow you on that coaching tip. As you were a coach at Niagara a few years ago for about a decade, is there like an unwritten rule or a protocol when talking to other head coaches about like a player that you're seeing or the system that they're running? Like, I don't know if this exists because you're in the broadcast booth, but does this exist where you can't really speak about a player or a stretch of games or whatever? What is that relationship like between, as a former coach who is now a broadcaster, and any particular coach? I'm not saying Coach Darko, could be any coach that's led the Raptors while you've been working in media.
I you know, It's interesting. I've always tried to, and I've worked with a lot of head coaches and assistant coaches in my time in Toronto. This is my 28th year. So I think you try to build a personal relationship with them, and it's all based on trust, right? That if I'm having a conversation with you, Cabby, and you're the coach, whether you're the head coach or the assistant coach, what is said here, what is seen here, what goes on here stays here when we leave here. That there's a bond that I'm not going to reveal anything in a conversation on the air that isn't permitted to be, or I'm going to respect that relationship. So, in terms of talking about players, if anyone ever asks my opinion, I'll give it. If I'm not asked it, I'm not going to give it. In terms of off the air, I think I respect the sanctity of the position of the coach and the coaching staff. If they were, if and there have been many times over the years with all different coaches that they've said, "Hey, what are you seeing with this? What are you seeing with this player? Or what are you seeing with what we're doing?" And when that time comes, I'll give my opinion, but only when that's asked. I'm not one of those people that will walk on a plane or in a hotel lobby or whatever and say, "Hey, what are you doing with this guy? I didn't like what you ran there." No, that's not my place. Now, when I get on the air, my job is to first guess, not second guess. I'm going to try as best as I can to say, if I was in this situation, this is how I would do it before it even happens. And again, I always joke. I use a lot of self-deprecation that, I joke about my coaching record and my and lack of success. And, so I'm not trying to take myself too seriously that I have all the answers, because you don't. No one does. Um, but I think there's got to be a lot of respect there, and there is, and I've enjoyed my relationship. And look, there's a lot of guys I came up with that are still coaching or just getting out that have made a lot of money. And the guys that are coaching today are making amount of money: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever it is. But the stress is insane. And honestly, I'm finding it more and more, and it's just not basketball, but in general, talking to high school, talking to college coaches, pro coaches, a lot of people just aren't that happy. They're wealthy, but they're not that happy because the stress is just immense. I mean, you look at two great coaches we've had leave their organizations, Coach Harbaugh in Baltimore and Coach Tomlin in Pittsburgh. These guys are amazing, and they're great leaders. Um, and it's sad. It really is. But both will land easily on their feet. Um, and at times that bothers me. And I'll say one thing as a former coach that I really don't like, particularly when you look at the situation with Coach Harbaugh in Baltimore. And there's a clause called the offset clause. So now, if I'm Mr. Biscotti, the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, and I just in good faith, as did my employee in good faith, put pen to paper and sign a contract saying I'm going to be your coach for the next, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 year extension. If I decide as the owner to break that agreement. That coach should be fully compensated because I made a decision, not in a partnership, which a contract is a partnership. I made a decision to break that deal. Therefore, I should owe that coach the money. The offset contract, which I don't like, and unfortunately is built into almost all coaching contracts now. When I coached, I wouldn't allow it. Because what happens is they turn around and say, hey, we can fire Coach Harbaugh. He'll get another job tomorrow and we'll be off the hook for his money, which I think is complete nonsense. Uh, and to me, so that's why you see so many coaches, uh, teams pull the trigger sooner than you maybe even think they should, because they know someone else is going to line up to hire that person. And it's all about money. Believe me, people think twice. If they owe a guy for 3 years and big money, a lot of teams will be reluctant to eat that money if they have to eat it.
Got it. For the audio audience, they can't see that you are wearing a Buffalo Bills cap. So I'm just going to ask you one more question. And it's about Josh Allen, who infamously vomits before games. What is the closest your body has ever come to purging itself because of nerves, if you've spoken about it, and stress, either before your first coaching game or before the first time you broadcasted an NBA game or the first time you broadcasted an NBA game on television or a Raptors playoff game? What's the closest your body has had that kind of reaction because of nerves and stress?
You know what I try to do is I try to run it out. Seriously. I try,
Like at the
Lindsay
stadium?
asked me earlier about, no. The day of the game, I feel like running is therapeutic to me. Working out is therapeutic. And, uh, when I coached, the most calm I was actually right before the game started, because it's the old term, the hay was already in the barn. Uh, we're prepared. We're prepared for this game. Like, I've done my job. I've prepared. Now, what I try to do is mentally go through every possible scenario, up 12 seconds left, down 3, 18 seconds left, different scenarios, substitution patterns. You think all of it through, because we're not playing chess, we're playing turbo chess. It's rapid fire. So I think preparation is a calming thing. So I wouldn't say that I have a lot of anxiety before a game. I'm actually very calm, and I feel like I'm prepared. And I think when you're prepared, you do that. Now, I think of Josh Allen. Uh, I can't speak for him. I can only look and see how he plays. The guy is such an incredibly prideful competitor. He's just so amped up and so ramped up to play. I think he just has to let off a little steam and
Through his mouth.
and like, yeah. And to me, I think it's stress. It's stress. But if that helps him, so be it. And it's interesting. So many people are superstitious. It's like baseball players. They always step over the line when they go out on the field or jump over the line. It's just little things that people do. And it's funny. I find that with the greatest athletes, they're all a little superstitious and they're all a little insecure. And that insecurity, it doesn't come off that they're insecure, but these guys know the stakes and they know they're the hunted, they're the top one, and people are game planning to stop them. So there's a lot on your mind and there's a lot on your plate. And it's remarkable to see the Josh Allens and the LeBron Jameses and the Wayne Gretzky's or whoever, the great athletes we've had in all sports. Um, they're fanatical in their preparation.
So no vomiting. Okay, got it.
no vomiting from Jack today.
Just one.
We appreciate you. When it comes to stress or prep, something I do and I listen to all the time is music. And I've had conversations with you about my love for the Rat Pack. We talk Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr., but I love listening to Hello and Happy Holidays. So Jack, I have a proposal for you to give the people what they want. is, can you release an album around Valentine's Day that features like some rendition of That's Amore or something called Get That Heartbreak Out of Here? Take my
Well,
money,
today
Jack.
I think today is January 14th. I only have a month, and I got a bunch
Yeah.
of
You can
games
do
coming
it.
up, so I'm not sure if I have enough time to prepare. But nonetheless, I'm sure I'll belt a few of those tunes out today when I'm running. I do listen to music like you, and uh, yeah, I don't know if I have enough time to do that. And people ask me, "Are you going to put out another album?" I haven't really given it a lot of thought at this point. Doing one album was a lot of work. Um, and definitely, I don't think I'm giving up my career doing this to go into singing for a career. Definitely an amateur.
We appreciate your time so much. Thank you for your time, and go Bills. Thank you so much, Jack.
Go Bills! And thanks,
Sure.
and great to be on with all you. Cappy, the last time I saw you, I think we were walking on a street in Toronto. I ran into you in Toronto. Remember
Yeah,
that?
we're at Portland and Portland and Wellington. I think you were going to speak at an event, and
Yes,
I was like to going
yes,
either
I
coming
was.
from a lunch or going to a lunch. But it was always great to speak with you, and I can
Yeah,
we
that's the
can have
last time I saw you.
yeah. It was great. And I look forward to seeing you again. We all do. Whether it's in at Scotiabank or some random intersection in Toronto.
Whose dog is that, by the way?
I'm sorry, that's my dog Sophia
Oh,
yelling, "I love Jack
okay.
Armstrong
No,
too."
say the
All
full
right.
name, Lindsay. It's
My dog's
Sophia.
full name is Sophia Michael Jordan Keith Richards Dunn Peterson, and yeah,
Yeah.
we can
Wow.
discuss this next time I see you, Jack. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. You go
I,
enjoy
I
your day.
I definitely will. Tell Sophia to have a great day. All the best. And thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.